Today I will do a video about modeling this mini fan here. It's nothing too crazy. Maybe the head here will be more complicated, and I'll do a step-by-step video of how to model this in Rhino. So starting in Rhino, I also have a measuring tape here to measure roughly how big the fan is. So I'll start to measure the base in Rhino. So I want to start by modeling the handle, which is about 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters by 4.5. So I'll just comment box box. I'll just say this is 45. I'll just do a rough box first. And this is 10 centimeters. The width is 45, and the depth of this is about 25 millimeters. 25. So that's the size of the handle. So it's nothing too complicated. I will try to make it as simple as possible so everybody can follow. So it's just a box. So I place it on the center. I place the center of the box at the origin. So it's easier for me to later on if I want to mirror it so everything is all centered. The next step here is to do the head of the fan. So as you can see in my video here, I will measure the diameter of the fan. So it's about 82 millimeters diameter. 82. And I'll just measure the depth here, which is about 30 millimeters. So I'll just do a command cylinder. And I'll just say 82 diameter by 30. Now this is too big, so 82 millimeters is the diameter. So when I command cylinder, I need to change this diameter to so this is currently a diameter. This is diameter, so it is 82 mil and it's 30 mil. Okay. And I'll just rotate this using gumball. Something seems off with this. It's too big. I'll measure it again. The diameter is 82 mil. So something is not right here. Command cylinder. Base of cylinder, which is, I'll just put it here for now. Oh, this is the radius. Okay, so I need to change this to diameter and change this to 82 mil. That's right. And the depth is 30 mil. So that is the head of the fan. So this looks more like it now. As you can see, the depth is actually not the same with the handle. So I need to work out. It's actually centered. The handle is actually centered to the fan. If you can see my camera. it's not actually, there's a gap here. So this is the if you use gumball, you can just move this back. You can also measure. I'll show you a quicker way to do this. Measure the handle. That's 23. This is meant to be, why is this in a decimal? It's 23. I'll just get this to 23. I'll actually measure the handle again to make sure. Yeah, that's about right. It's actually 25, not 23. 25. I'll move this to the center, 0, 0, 0. And then I will move the center of this. Move it up. So if this is 30 mil depth and this is 25, the difference here is 5 mil. So if I move this back negative 2.5, I can center it like this. So now I need to work out where is this head gonna sit from the base. So I can measure again. It's about 9 cm, so it's 90 mil. So what I can do here, I can move this down. Doesn't matter, I can move it down. Then I can move it up 90 mil. And I can move it backwards 2.5 mil. So it's centered. So this is really good. It's looking really good. Now I need to start adding some details in. So maybe let's start with creating the fillet here, curving the edges of the handle. So as you can see, the base here is quite curved on the side. I currently measure the curvature right now, but I'll try my best to create something similar to this. So I will try to create a, normally I will just do a fillet edge, something like this, but this is not gonna help because it's not really a consistent radius. There's actually the radius change up to here. So I'll need to find a way. I'll need to create, I need to draw some curve here. I'll turn off the center O snap. It's actually something like this. The radius is actually not consistent. So I'll do a mirror here to get, that looks about right actually. I'm quite happy with this, but maybe I will try to flatten the edge here so that I can try to flatten the edge so that there's this flat edge here. And then I'll try to create one curve like this, join it up, and then I can just extrude this up. Doesn't matter how high it is, and then it'll look something like this. So this looks kind of good. I'll delete off the curve. So this looks really good. It doesn't have to be super accurate, but at least it looks like what I want. I actually changed my mind. I feel like this, I'll just undo everything again. I feel like this two, or this corner here can be tighter. So what I did there was I select these two curves, I command isolate, and I just, when you click these two curves together, you see that two dot appears, so select the dot as well. Select these two and then highlight from left to right, select the dot, and then I can scale this inwards more. So I might actually just scale this towards the center. I'll actually just join it up to make it more simple, and I'll just mirror this on the side like that. Join it up. Command show to show everything. Extrude curve, bring it up higher. Delete off the box, and yes, this is looking really good. Make sure this is a close extrusion always, and make things easier. And then now I want to add in some detail at the bottom here. You can see on my camera. So there is some rebate here that I can start to add in. So the easiest way to do this, there's a trick here I can show you. You command extract surface, get the surface first, but make sure when you extract surface, make sure the copy is turned on, make sure it says yes. Extract surface, so you get a surface like this. You command silhouette to get the outline like this, and then you can offset inwards. So this looks like it's like 2 mil or maybe 1.5 mil. It's very small, and then I can sort of it's actually more like I might need to do a sweep. Let's try it. So I'm gonna bring this curve up to the base, so I'll just command set pt, set the z axis, bring it to the base, delete the silhouette, delete that curve as well, and I might need to use a loft in this case, so I would just extrude curve, extrude 1 mil, and then I'll take that curve, offset it again to here. Okay. I want to extrude this, but I don't want this to be a solid. Just extrude 1 mil. Select the curve, offset again to here. Then I can loft here to here. So this is good. So I will just select these two surface, isolate. Looking very clean. I'll just join it up and cap it so it becomes a solid. And the next one here is to fillet off the corner here, because nothing's gonna be this sharp in real life. So I'll just fillet edge, select the edge here, change this to about 1 mil. It's gonna be really small. 1 mil is too big actually. 0.2. Let's try that. Yeah. Command show. And this looks good. I'm happy with this. I'll just cell curve, select all the curve. We type in cell, select CRV, cell curve, select all the curve, and I just delete. I like to take off all the curve that I'm not using to keep the project clean. And this is good. We can always adjust it later on, but for now, I'm gonna keep it like this. So the next one here, I will do the on-off button here on my screen. There's an on-off button here. This one is quite simple. I'll just measure how high it is from the base. I'll probably measure from the top from the center of the circle is 80 centimeters. So I'll just do a circle. So another trick here I can show you. What people normally do is that they can do a circle like this, and then they can rotate it up. I guess this is fine. And bring up by 80, like this. So the diameter of the button is diameter is 12 mil. So you want to scale it from the center, turn on the center point, scale it. So I'll just scale it from the edge here. Doesn't matter where it is, it's a circle. Scale perpendicular. So 12 mil, so it's 6 mil radius, like this. Just want to measure again to make sure it's correct. That is fine. I'll just bring this down a little bit because it looks a bit too close to here. And I will just bring this out. It's because this surface here is actually curving, it's not actually flat. So I need to do a cutout here. So I'll just do project, select curve the project on, select the surface, doesn't work. Project, I'll try again, select curve, do project, press enter, select curve, press enter when done, select surface, nothing shows up. Project, select curve and points to project, select curve and point project, select surface. The reason why it doesn't show up is because this is a closed extrusion. So I'll just extract this surface out, or maybe I'll just explode this. Project here to here. It doesn't work. Oh, okay, I know what's happening. Project this, because this is projecting horizontally, so I need to make sure that the direction of the C-plane has to be pointed to the y-axis. Type in y, C-plane, $5:30 like that. I'm doing a video now. What? 6 o'clock. Okay? Let me finish this up, please. There, cool. So I want to project this onto this surface, but I have to project it on the y direction, y axis direction. So command project, select the curve, direction, change this to, can I change this to something else? Okay, I can't. So another way I can do this, I can turn on auto C plane. So when I turn on auto C plane, the C plane will follow whatever you selected. So right now I select the circle. My C plane is sort of oriented with the circle. Then I can project on the surface. That's not what I want. Project again. Direction is not view, it has to be the Z axis now. But the Z axis is based on this C plane. They have turned this on, so it's oriented with the circle. So it can be confusing. Select the surface, and that's what I want. I'll just delete the back part because I don't need both of it. Turn off the auto. So now that's good. So this button, it has like this sort of aging here, like a small little gap. So I'll just do offset again, maybe 0.1 or 0.2. Project this again, turn off my auto C plane. Here, project surface, and that's what I want there. That's perfect. So what I can do is that I could, so I'll just move this aside. So right now I have two circles. I will just select these two circles, extrude this out. So select these two circles. So I tried extruding using the gumball just now, but you see it's not really close. So what I have to do is that I want to extrude curve. But I want to extrude it horizontally. Extrude curve. You see it goes up and down, so it doesn't work. So what I need to do is that select these two, extrude curve, direction. The direction, I have to change it. I have to draw it like this in Y direction and bring it out. So I'll do it again, but make sure solid is turned on. Change the direction, bring it outwards. Okay. I think that's the best you can get there. So why? So I'm gonna bring this out first. So this is not flat. So I want to extrude this again. Make sure that it's a solid. Output is the surface. Okay. So another way you can do this is that I can select this, the handle and the tool curve. I can copy it out, and then I can command split. I will split to get just a surface like this, and from this surface I'll split again using this curve, so I get another surface like this. So I need to bring it back here. Okay, that's what I need to do. So I will just move. So I'll just have to take this extrude surface, and I'll just extrude it like this, and that is a solid. So I'll just like delete off everything here, and I'll just have to overlap this a little bit. Just make sure it goes in a little bit, something like that. Okay, and I'll just boolean difference, delete this. So that is what I was trying to do. I'm trying to create like a gap in between, and now I can just command fillet edge, just clean off give it some fillet so it looks more real. That's too much. I'll just do 0.2 like that. This might look a bit too much as well, but doesn't have to be perfect. I'll just do 0.1 so it looks right in the render. Yeah, something like that. Okay. And then this button, actually the surface of this button is not really it doesn't really have this convex shape. It's actually concave. It goes in. So based on that detail, it changes a bit of stuff here. I will need to actually I need to so I undo everything until I get back this curve here. I take this curve, I set PT, make sure this is flat. So I set PT means that I can get this curve to be flat. Before it was like this, it's following the curvature of the surface, but after I set PT, I redo it, becomes flat. So I can just do a planar surface. So I can do a surface like this since it's flat. And to create a concave, I can do a rebuild. Click OK. Not really. We can do a rebuild 3x3 and I'll see how it looks like. Click OK. I can do points on, command points on. So 3x3 means that when I do a rebuild, I can rebuild the surface, so I can sort of subdivide the surface. I want to just subdivide it enough to get this point in the middle. So 3x3 usually means that there's 3 and 3 dots here. 3x3, that's what it means, U and V. Press OK. Command points on. Take the point, move it in a little bit. So now this curve, if I isolate this, it's actually it has this concave shape. Maybe I need to bring it more. Yeah, you see it's starting to distort the rest of the circle, which is not what I want. So what I'll do is that I will extract wireframe, delete this, so I can get this wireframe. Command set PT, set the Y, straighten this back again. So I get this original shape, right? I can try the command patch, PATCH. Select everything, patch, yep, and it will give me something like this. So patch means that it will select all the curve and it will try to create a surface out of it. So I want to create an even U and V. Let's go 20x20, that's looking perfect. I'm happy with this. Command show, delete this. What I can do is that I can extrude surface, direction, horizontal, something like this, and then I can kinda bring this in. And I can command hang on. I can extrude dupe edge, dupe edge. Dupe edge here, dupe edge here. So I want to actually take off this surface in the middle. So what I could do is that I can, yeah, I know what to do. Let's just extrude this, cap this off. Let's just extrude everything, bring it in, difference, so it creates a nice flat surface. To make things really simple, and I'll just bring this in like that. Yeah, I think I've over complicated some stuff there. That's fine. So this is looking great. Go back to render. Perfect. Cell curve. Delete. That's looking great. And I'm not gonna boolean union this yet, in case I want to adjust this later on. So that is good. Save this file. So the next step I can do is that I'll start adding the detail of the rib here, and I'll start working on the head. So where do I start? I can start adding in the thickness of the rim first. Ignore the swirly pattern. I'll just do the thickness of the rim. Just quickly measure that. It's about roughly it's about 88 mil. Sorry, 8 mil. I'll just command dupe edge. Take out the edge, offset this inwards by 8 mil. It's a bit too much, eh? It is 8 mil, but it has a curve. I'll show you. So 8 mil, and I will just extrude this out so it cuts a hole. So extrude this. That's alright. So what I did there was, if I do this, it cuts a hole like this. If I drag this line button on the gumball, so gumball, it has many features. One of it is to cut a hole directly, or I can extrude this. I can extrude this, or I can just cut a hole like that. So now, yeah, so this looks really fat because there's actually a curve on the edge here, on the fan. There's a fillet. So this fillet, okay, So I will just dupe edge again, dupe edge, and I will enlarge this just a little bit, and I'll bring this in. Okay, so I can't really see it because it's inside. Go to ghosted. So that's what I have right now. So it actually steps in by roughly 3 to 4 mil. So I'll just bring this minus 3 mil. Oop. Just do 3 mil. Comes in 3 mil, and then I will just mirror this again. So it goes on the other side. If I can find the midpoint. It's okay, I can just comment 0, 0, 0. Make sure it goes to the center. And I will just explode this actually. It's gonna get quite complicated, so I'll just explode, delete this. So I can just loft these two shape together, loft like that, and later on I'll just draw a line here, draw a line. So I can't just loft like this because it'll just be flat, but that's just actually like a curve in this direction. So I'll need to draw a line, rebuild this into just two counts. Select point, command points on. Okay, I need to rebuild this into 3 point counts. Get the line in the middle. So when I do that, you see there's 2 straight lines. I'll rebuild this, make sure the degree is 3 for it to start curving. So that's what I want, like that. I'll just base this on, I'll just eyeball this really. So this looks good. And I'll just command sweep 1, select rail, select sweep shape, and that's looking really good. Just check again. Yeah, I think this looks right. Cell curve, delete. Go back to render again. Just ignore that, we can cut that out later. So one little adjustment here. This will need to come down more because it has to be 8 mil in total here. So I'll just draw a line. I'll just draw it 8 mil down. So it has to come down by 8 mil because that is a total thickness that I've measured. So just making sure that this comes down 8 mil. Something like that. Doesn't have to be super accurate. I'll just move this aside so I can see. Yeah, this looks right. Okay. Command sweep. Cell curve, delete. Yes. It looks like a Dyson fan. Anyway, fillet edge, fillet. Oh yeah, I gotta join this up so it becomes a closed poly surface. Then fillet edge, fillet fillet H. Let's do 1 mil. So double click to select all connecting lines. Double click here, 1 mil. Let's try that. I'll just do 2 mil actually. 2 mil, yeah. And the next one here, I'll just do another one, but this one is like 5 mil. Oh. I'll just do 3 mil. Oh. Too much. It's not really liking this. 1 mil. Yes. You gotta sometimes based on vibes. And then yep, it's looking really good. And now there's this detail on the side here. There's this hard edge. Just quickly measure that. It's like 2 mil. It goes in by 2 mil. So what this means is that you can dupe edge. Command dupe edge, get the outline of that. Bring that in by 2 mil. So I will have to offset this outwards just by 1 mil, like that. I think it's actually lesser than 1 mil, but I'll just do it for simplicity. Loft this and cell curve, delete all the curve, and I would just mirror this from 0, 0, 0, mirror this. And what I could do here is select this tool, isolate. I might actually just command extrude surface. Yeah. Delete off the surface. Make sure this is solid. Show. And it looks kind of chunky. So what I'll do is that I'll just scale, make it smaller. Yeah. Just scale this a little bit. I can scale it horizontally as well. Yeah, like that. That's right. So when you go to render, everything is white. Everything is white. So I can just come to quickly change it to like black. So I can start to see the detail easily. So I'll just create a tiny fillet here. Fillet H 0.2. Yeah, perfect. One closed poly surface, they're both closed. That's perfect. And something's happening here. Did not notice that. So what I can do is undo it again. Make sure this comes out like that. Fillet. Yep, that's fine. So the head is done, the body is done, and let's just clean up this part. Boolean difference, delete off the excess bit. I'm not gonna Boolean union these two shape first. I'm not gonna do that because it's hard to undo it later on. So this is looking good. So the next step here is to do the hardest part, which is the fan. So I'm not gonna take out my fan. I'm gonna do this based on what I can observe. Let's do the back part first, which is here. The back part. I'll start with the cylinder. Snap to the center, cylinder, like that. I'm just doing this based on eyeballing for now. I'm doing this live, so I have to. I might do a few options to see what is the best way to do this. The diameter is about 20 mil. Do a scale, center of the scale, 10. This is quite detailed than I thought. So I'll just do another one here. I might just delete this. 2H, delete that. So it comes in, it actually goes in like that. Goes in like that. And then I might just make it flatter like that. Do H again, planar surface. We build this 3x3 again. Oh. Points on. Click the point in the middle, bring it outwards. Something like that. Extract wireframe, delete off the surface, delete that, dupe H again, select all this surface, I mean curve, patch. Looking good. And then what I'll do is that I'll just flatten this part again. And extrude curve. Just add in a thickness here. Join and cut to close it off. So now I need to start adding in the swirl. Best to do this in elevation. So this is not actually centered. There you go. Ah, something is happening here. Explode. Hide. Delete this. Show. Join. It's not joining for some reason. Cat. Extrude surface. Direction. bring it backwards. Okay, and make sure that it goes in. It doesn't really matter. Actually, I'll just try to get it as close as possible. Perpendicular, Boolean union, Boolean fail. That's fine. I'll just group this up together. So now the swirl, I will just do a dupe edge to this rim here. I'll just move it to the left by, let's say 100. I'll move it to the right, and I'll just add a point in the middle, a center point like this. And then I can start adding. So I'll actually change this to the back view because it is from the back now. So start adding a curve, start drawing this in. Ideally, I would just, if you have an image, you can just trace it over, but I don't really have an image. So insert more control point like that. So it comes out like this. That looks about right. Okay, so let's try to do an array polar. Select object to array, center, which is here, the number, which I don't really know. I can start counting this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21. There's 21 in total. 360, yes. So it becomes like this. Press record history, press done. So now if I start to adjust this, it will adjust the array as well. So this actually comes out straight, and I think this is fine. So let's look at this in 3D. So this will come out a little bit. I think this dot in the middle, just select this one, command points on, bring it to the front. So you see this array is actually automatically updated because I turned on record history just now. So when I turn on record history, it's gonna keep remembering the original line that I arrayed. So this is possible. if you did not turn on this record history, you have to keep arraying all the time, which is annoying. So I think this will need to come out a little bit. Maybe there's an insert control. There's another point here. Come up. Yeah. Go back to elevation. Okay, I'm happy with this. So the next step here is to add in the thickness, which can be hard. The easiest way to do this is to extrude curve, direction. Again, I want to make this as simple as possible for everyone. Make it 3 mil. It goes in by 3 mil. Maybe 5 mil. 5 mil. Or 4 mil. 4 mil. Yes. And command cell last. And cell last to select the last thing that you have interact with. Offset surface. And I will offset this by, this looks like, let's do 2 mil. $1 mil. Yep. So everything here now oops, I actually missed something. I will just delete the rest of this. I only need one because I can rearrange this. But before I do that, this is actually meant to be in the opposite direction. Hang on. Yeah. It's actually meant to be in the opposite direction. Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. There's something not really trying to see if I can improve this. Yeah, there was a bit of jaggedness that I don't really like. I want it to be as aerodynamic as possible because it's a fan, and I want to look convincing as well. Yeah, what I can do is that if you want to smooth out this curve, rebuild, just do a quick rebuild. 4 points is fine, and I guess no, I don't want to do that. Extrude curve, not minus 2 mil. Hang on, minus 4 mil, and offset surface 1 mil. That looks better. So this looks way better already. I might just do 3 mil or 2 mil. Then I can fillet edge. So this is, if it's 3 mil, then I will just do like 1 mil on each side. 1 mil. So instead of offsetting the surface, I'll bring this out by 3 mil, or I will just extrude surface. Direction 3 mil. So delete off the curve. Boolean. Actually, I might just keep the curve just in case. Boolean union. Fillet edge. Okay, something funny is going on. It's because of this. Offset surface. So in this kind of situation, it might be the best to do a sweep. I was trying to avoid doing a sweep because sweep takes more steps to do it. So let's do 3 mil. Let's do a fillet corner, fillet. Let's do 1 mil. I guess that is fine, but actually I'm gonna just do a sweep like that. Sweep. I'll make sure that this goes to the center first of all. And this comes out by 1 mil or 1 centimeter, and make sure this is touching. Just want to make sure. 6 o'clock. Can I finish this video first, please? Okay. Okay. Sweep one. Sweep this that is too big. So I'll just do 2 mil. I might just bring it to the center actually. Sweep 1. That looks better, way better. Fillet edge. Yes. 0.7. Let's try that. Yep, this is good. Yes. Awesome. So that is just a test by theory. What I can do is that I can start. I have more control over the curve over here if I do it like this. Do a mirror like this, and just draw a curve, something like that. Mirror this again. So you can see now, I'm just shaping out the cross section of the blades. Sweep 1, sweep 1. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Okay. Somehow I might change my mind. But I'll just turn on record history again. Sweep 1. So now I can start to, let's try to readjust this. This is my last chance to get it right. Otherwise it's gonna be difficult to make any changes. So I might actually not do it here. I will do it in this area. Delete that. So just bring it up here again. See, there's actually so much of difference if I do it here directly. Come up. So on the side here, this blade actually sticks out by 12 mil. It actually sticks out by 12 mil. So that's how you know how much things comes out. So it comes out by 12 mil like this. It's quite significant. And this, okay, this comes out by 10 mil as well. Kind of forgot about that. 10 mil. Yeah. And make sure that this sort of goes in. Yeah, just somewhere there is fine. Okay. Spend a bit of time to get this right, because once you sweep this and start to array polar, you're not gonna get it back. Okay, that looks good. What about elevation? Okay, that's fine. Happy with that. Just come down a little bit. Yeah. So now I'll just hide this for now. Just hide this one first. Bring it to here. Sweep one. Sweep. Yeah. Perfect. You see, is this really what I want? At the top here. Not really. So I can bring this up higher. Do another sweep one again. So that's too deep. So gotta sort of cut back a bit. Something like that. Sweep one. Just a bit more. Sweep one again. Perfect. So command show. See, is this what you want as well? Definitely not. Select this curve, highlight that to select the point inside, so I can start to bring it out like that. That's fine. Hide this one again. We're making quite a slow progress, but it is important to get this right. I'd rather spend more time getting the sweep right before I array. So now I can array polar. Hang on. Did I just delete off? Okay. I will just bring this out by 10 mil because I want to keep that. That is important. I'll bring it out by 40 mil, so the total is 50 mil. So I have a copy of this. Array polar, object to array, center here, I guess. 21, yep. Oh, maybe I do it here in this view. Center of array, 21, 360, yep. Awesome. Very nice. It's very nice. What I will do is that I will kind of reduce this down. Ungroup this. I'll comment solid points on, cell brush point, select this, and hang on. I will dupe edge, explode, delete this and this. I want to rebuild this, so this goes in just a little bit. Explode. build that as well. So I can start to loft all these together. Join, fillet, fillet edge. Yeah. Hang on, I'm not gonna fillet this one yet. Now I can fillet it. Now I can fillet this. 0.7 is too much. 0.5. Let's do 0.5. Yeah, perfect. Okay, I'm happy with this. Bring this another 50 mil. I'm happy with this. So, next step here. So that is the back part of the fan. Let's do the front part. Cylinder. Start with the cylinder. Come out like this. And that position, I'm happy with that. Checking the diameter now, it's actually, diameter is 3 centimeters. So radius is 15 mil. Up. Center to 15. Yeah. Let's make it thick a little bit. Let's do 5. So now I can do a curve. I can start drawing in. I'll just draw a curve from here to here first, like that. And I can start to rebuild this and start to shape it however I need. So I'll turn off center. So this, I'll just bring it from here. Just shape it. Go to elevation. This time I'll go to front view. I might just isolate all this. Just start to shape it. Have some fun with this. Okay. It won't actually curve too much, I think. Okay. Okay. That is good. And let's count how many there is. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 33. There's 33 blades. But I'm not gonna array first. I'm going to make sure there's a curve in this direction. It's just a bit. It's just a bit. And yeah. Okay. That is good. And I will just bring this out by 5 mil. Yep. See, before I do that, I think just like the back portion, I will do a sweep. Center this. I will just do a curve for the center, trim off the excess part, join, and I can sort of control how thick this should be. Well, this should be really thin so that there's more airflow. 0.3, let's go with that. So it's 0.6 mil. That's really thin actually. It's about 1.5 mil, so that's about right. It's about 1.5 mil, so I'll just do 0.7. Yeah, let's try it. Delete that. Okay, so what is the thickness here? 1.4. Yeah, that's fine. Sweep. Awesome. And then come into elevation. See, it's not actually joining up to here. So what I'll do is to just extend this into the rim, but make sure that when I extend this, it doesn't go out to the border. Like that. Okay, sweep. Sweep 1. Very nice. So I can't cap this. Why can't I cap this? Sweep. So I can't really cap this for some reason. See, there's also a gap at the bottom here. So I will take this, move it inwards, down, so that it sits entirely inside the shape. And I will just make this smaller so there's a bit of tolerance. Yeah. So I can't cap that, that's fine. I'll just leave it. Bring this out by 50 mil so I can keep a copy. And then the fun part here is the array polar. Object the array 23. Center of polar here 23. 360. You press enter. Okay. Something is not centered. It could be the cylinder. Okay. That is a mistake. Make sure the cylinder is on the center. and make sure this, I'll do it again. Make sure the cylinder is in the center. Make sure that goes down. That comes in. Change this to ghosted. Let's bring it to here. Sweep 1. Nice. Yeah. Happy with this. Can't cap it. Don't know why. Array polar. Project the array. Center, which is here. 23. Yep. Done. Command show. Nice. Very nice. Save the file. And next step is to do the internal fan. And we are done. So the fan can be tricky. Let's hide this. Let's hide this as well. Hide. I will just make another copy. Go back to shaded view. Yep. Scale 1D. Turn off center. I'll just create like the piece of cylinder that rotates, that turns the fan. I think that's fine. That's okay. I don't know what's inside because I can't really measure it, so I'm just going this based on what I can see. And then for the fan, for the blades, command show. What I'll do here, I'm gonna hide this, hide all this stuff, and I will start to group these shapes together so I can start to hide it. Hide. So with the blades, let's start by the stuff on the top. I don't really need this anymore. Bring this aside first. I will start to so I'm gonna bring this out, rebuild this, and start making this into a fan blade. Something like that. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I do encourage some sort of accuracy as well. because Rhino is a very powerful modeling software that allows you to model with precision. Okay, that looks good. I'll copy this across and I will rotate this a little bit from the center like that. And then I'm just playing around with this. I don't really know what I'm trying to get. And I think that looks good. That looks really good. Yeah. I'm not an engineer, so I don't know what is the best shape for the fan. Okay, that we're almost there. This needs to be really thick, apparently. Okay. And I can loft these two together. And that is a fan. Now, I don't know how thick this should be. I mean, how deep this should be. But my guess is it shouldn't be this deep. That is good enough. Just come in here. 15 mil. Let's do 10 mil. Yeah. There's a bit of curve at the top here. So what I'll do is that I'll do edge. I'll isolate this actually. Do edge. Do this to edge as well. Delete that. Rebuild this into 3 points. So there's a single point at the top here. Move it up. Just like that. Bring it down. Join this up together. Show. Hide all this stuff. Delete off the previous curve. And I will just bring this down a bit as well. Move it in. And I'll just command patch, I think. Yeah, patch is fine. Let's do 10 by 10. Yeah, patch is fine. I'm happy with this. It's not really perfect, but this is the best I can do without measuring. It's just to demonstrate from a modeling perspective how to model this in Rhino. That's about it. I can just readjust the scale and let's count how many blades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 blades in total. So command array polar, center of array, just here. 12 in total. So I do it again. I have to be in the right view so that it rotates on the right axis. Center 12, angle is 360. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's actually 13. Yeah. So last group, show. You know what? I'm happy with this. Hide this again. Apparently, the more I look at this, it's pretty deep. It goes in pretty deep. Like it goes in to here. So I'm not sure if I should just rotate like scale like this, or should I scale like this? Like this shape actually goes all the way to the back. Cell brush points. Select all the points. Bring it to the back. It goes pretty deep to here. Yeah. And I will also rotate from the center like that. Yeah. What I'll do is that I'll turn on record history, array polar, center, 13. Yeah, this looks more like it now. So last, including this, command patch. Oh, too many. Okay, undo it again, patch, and then array polar, Before I do that, this needs a thickness, so offset surface, just like 0.2 mil, maybe more, 0.5. Yep. Fillet 0.2. I don't think the back part you need that. Uh-oh. Yeah, do it both together. Or maybe, yeah, that's fine. I'll just extend it backwards as well. Array polar, hang on, show. Yeah, that's fine. Array polar. Very polar, center, 13. Awesome. Cell last. View. Show. Nice. Almost there now. So I need to create a concave surface here. Ungroup this. Extract surface. Rebuild. Delete this. Cell brush point. Hang on. Command points on. Bring this in. Extract wireframe. Extract wireframe. Delete off the surface. Set this to be straight. Patch. Extrude surface. Hang on. Isolate. Explode this. Loft it. Loft these two shapes together, and I'll just join it up. Show. Awesome. Nice. Okay, that's good. I think almost there. And then we'll add some detail on here later on for the on or off button. So I want to add a button over here for the on or off button on the side here. As you can see on my camera, there's an on or off button. So which means that I need to do a cutout here. So I'll just measure quickly how big it is and how high is it. It's about 15 cm and is 73 cm above. So I'll just do a rough rectangle here. I'll just bring it to here. Bring it to the midpoint, and then I'll move this up by 73, and I will scale this down to about 15 or 14 mil. And the width is about, I would say, 12 mil. So each side will be 6 mil. And then I'm going to fillet corners. And let's do, yeah, that's fine. Maybe I'll do 2 mil. Yeah, that's perfect actually. And then I'll need to project this. So I go project. Do I really want to project this? No, I don't want to, because I want to just extrude this. I will extrude this and I will cut like that. Then once I finish with that one, I'm gonna shrink this down. Maybe I'll switch this to back view. Cell brush point. Just brush out the points, bring it up. That's about right. Sub brush point again. Oops. Sub brush point. Bring it up. Like that. I think that's good. That's pretty good. Extrude this. Boolean difference. That's nice. And then I will turn this into the button. Perfect, like that. Probably this one needs to go up a bit, so that's a bit of tolerance. So things looks more real if you have like a small little gap for some tolerance, and then you fill it, edge. Maybe not that one. Fill it, maybe 0.1 is enough. Nice. And then there are some textures here, some vertical textures. I think let's just do some small little cylinders like that. Something like that. I'll just cut one out to see how it looks like. Yeah, I think this is okay. Not really. Isolate this. I might just 1, 2. So what I'm doing is that I'm gonna press alternate, left click, -1 to copy alternate, alternate, and alternate. Yeah, I think that is okay. Boolean difference. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to look right. And then the last one is the USB-C port. So loop edge, bring it down here. Cell brush point, cell last, join, cell brush point, select all the points. Something like that lah. So I'll go back to shaded, and then I'm gonna extrude this backwards. Boolean difference. Maybe I should do it more. Boolean difference. Keep this shape because you're gonna use this to create, I don't know what you call this, but this horizontal piece here. Yeah. Gumball is so important because you can do scale, you can move, and you can extrude, you can do so many things with it. So I do recommend try to use Gumball as much as possible. I'm gonna Boolean difference, not really, I'm gonna Boolean difference, hang on, Boolean difference this, yeah. I think we're almost done. And then there are some symbols here you can add. So this, at this stage, we're just adding some engraving. We're gonna engrave this with some symbols. It is very minute, the detail is very minute here, so you don't have to follow this if you don't want to. That's fine. Offset this by 0.1, 0.1. Extrude this out. Bring it in. Boolean difference. So what I'll do is that I'm going to turn on auto C-plane. I will draw a rectangle like this. Change this to shaded view so I can see. So this gumball, I will align this to object. Yep, that's fine. And align this back to C plane. I'll actually redraw that. Just draw a horizontal piece here. Extrude curve. And cap this to make it solid. Bring this in and Boolean difference all of this. So this is how I do my engravement. It's very simple. Yeah, that's fine. And then the front part here is the power button. So change this back to left view, I mean front view. So I'm going to start with a circle. Start with a circle like this, and I will draw a straight line down like that. And then I'll just cut this center piece out. Trim, just trim. Oh, delete that. Just scale this up, bring it up. And what we need to do is to give it a thickness. So step one actually is to put it right at the center here. And scale it down. So that looks right. And then offset. I want to offset this with a cap, so make sure it's flat. Offset this again, bring this by 0.05 to the right, so make sure it's centered. Delete. And just sort of place it in to engrave that. That's it. And I think that's all. Maybe let's try to add in the text here. On my camera, you can see there's a text of the logo here, Jisoo Live. Let's try to add that in. Not sure what is the best way to do that. So my C-plane is not. My C-plane is something wrong with my C-plane. So I need to find out what's happening. So it goes back to this sort of orientation by default. So trying to work out why is it. Yeah, that fixed it. Undo that. No, it did not. I think we need to reset the C-plane again. Command C-plane. C-plane rotate along the x-axis 90. Rotate it back like this again. I'm not sure what happened there, but sometimes it does just rotate by itself. It could be many things. So oh, I just realized something. Height and height. See, this is actually clashing with the fan, with the front of the cover. So I'm gonna move this back a bit, get it out of the way, move it further back, and I will scale 1D. Scale 1D from the center point of that to the center point of that. I'll just move it back just a little bit. Yeah, I'll just reduce the scale. Yeah, that's fine. So let's try to add in the logo. Let's do a text. Let's start with the text first. Jisoo Live. Just trying to find the right font here. I'm gonna eyeball the font. Something that is narrow, tall and narrow. Maybe that one. I'll never get it right, so I won't bother spending too much time. Rotate that. Rotate this. Bring it up. I will explode this, so it turns into a curve. Okay. And then I'm gonna project this onto this. I'm gonna project the text onto the handle. Turn on auto C plane to object, and then I will project this onto the handle, and then I'm gonna delete this off, undo the C plane, Command show, move this out of the way, and then I'm going to isolate this first. So what I need to do is that, because I need to create a render and have this at a different color so that the text will stand out as white or gray. So to do that, I need to separate the surface. So explode this, explode the handle, so everything is exploded. Command split, I'll split the surface using the text, so everything has its own surface. Okay, so I'm going to create a new layer. I'll call this text color, and I'm gonna cell curve, delete all the curve, select the color, change it, and then I will create a new material, custom, just call it custom, and call it white text, and just some, not white actually, it's a bit gray. Yeah, that's fine. Command show, render, and GSO live. There we go. Maybe it's too close at the bottom here. Oopsies. Move it up a bit. Project this back again. Hang on. Split. Cell curve. And change this. Make a new layer again. White text. Sorry to be doing this again. Command. Oh, it's here. White text. Okay. Command show, render, and GSO live. Nice. And then there's actually this part here. When this fan turns on, it shows you actually the battery power. So I'm gonna do some indication of a text here. So I'm going to command text. Let's do like 40. and I'm gonna try to change this again, try to match the right text, but I doubt that I'll find the perfect one without spending too much time. Okay, it's not here. Nope. So what I'll do is that I'm gonna try to do it myself by using some lines here. So 4. So actually I'll just do 0, 1. As you can see here is 0, 1 on my camera. So just do 0, 1. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. And then what I'll do is that I'll scale. I'll just smart track, find the center point of that. Yep. I just need a gap in the middle. That's all I need. 0, 1. That's it. And then there is this fan symbol here. Hold alternate and copy. Alternate, shift, and holding shift, move. There you go. And then I'll just offset this by 1, 0.5 maybe. 0.5, 0.5. Too much. 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2. There you go. So I will select everything, fillet, corners, make sure 0.05, 0.05, 0.1 maybe. Yeah, that is perfect. So the problem is we have to take this. I'm gonna isolate this too. Bring this across here. Bring it here to the front. Make sure that the size is correct. It is pretty big actually, so I'll just put it here. Command join this shape. Almost there. Yep. Bring it down a little bit. Try to center it as much as possible. Center this. Make it smaller. Hold shift to shrink it, to scale it down. I think that is good enough. Yes. So turn on auto C plane so that auto C plane align to object. Yep. Project. And when you project, it always comes out with two curve. Delete the back one. Turn off the auto C plane. Move this aside. And then sort of command split. And then cell curve. Delete the curve. Highlight the surface that you split it. Change this. Change this to the white layer. So there we go. I think that's good enough. I mean the text size or the text font might not be correct, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so this one actually has a bit of illumination. So I need to create a new layer. I'll call this illuminance. So it's a light. So I will block this layer, change it to this layer, block this, create a new material, custom illuminance. Is it 2L or 1L? I think it's 2L. Illuminance. And then there's a way. It's white color. Emission color, it's meant to be white as well. That's it. I think that's it. Yeah. I think we're done. So I think we're all done for watching this far and completing this model as well. Send me a screenshot of what you have in the link below. I'm keen to see what people have done with this. And then I'm gonna generate a couple of render photos. I'll just change the lens by coming to the properties. Change this to 30 so it looks more professional. Probably like this. Click the plus button. Perspective. Yeah, that's fine. And then do a couple more shots from the back view as well. Plus perspective 1. Do the side view 2. Why not? Render side view. Perspective. Nah, right view is fine. Do some front view. plus front. Do we like the color? Is it too, it looks too washed out, the color. I'm using the free render version in Rhino, so forgive me for not getting the right render quality. Maybe I'll change this to a darker gray, some gloss finish. Okay, that looks so much better already. Maybe I'll increase the gloss just a bit. There we go. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.